What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna bring you some more spicy content from my Instagram. I found a video online of these guys in the UK, I'm gonna tag them down below, but these guys in the UK who fitted G80 front and rear bumpers to an F30, as well as a bunch of other modifications, and I reposted it on my Instagram. Of course, I tagged them and everything, and the feedback was absolutely insane. The G80 front and rear bumpers on a base model F30. I want to get your opinions. You guys tell me down below what you think about this. Is this a hit or a miss? I will say before we get into the video, it's actually not that bad. Would I do it? No, I personally would not. It's just not for me, it's not my style. But I will say, in terms of putting this on the car and making it look cohesive, it's not that terrible. So here is the first one. I mean, it's not that bad, dude. It doesn't look awesome by any means, but it's really not that bad. I think this is a 320 or a 328, I want to say. And so they did the quad exhaust on it. They did obviously the whole like front bumper, the G80 front bumper, the grille, the GTS hood. Looks like the fenders are different too. They have like a cutout in the fenders. They did the rear G80 bumper, which is really interesting. Honestly, I've been kind of out of the game when it comes to like F30 stuff. The one thing I will say that actually looks really good on this car is the rear spoiler. Like, the rear spoiler is not that bad. The biggest miss, I would say, on this whole thing is like, dude, if you're gonna do all that work, you should have gone with like the Depot LCI style headlights to just make it look a little bit more cohesive, and the taillights. So it's like you did all that work, but you didn't do the headlights or the taillights? Come on, man. That would have made it look a lot better, in my opinion. Again, would this be something that I would do to a car? It's just not my style. It's not really my taste. But I will say, from like a build perspective, it's really not that terrible. There's a lot of people like hating on it online. I get it. Like, you know, it's a fake M. I totally understand why people would be completely against this. But all things considered, I don't think it looks too terrible. It does look a little weird because the car is just so thin, and once you start putting those features on it, it just looks really, really odd. I think the only reason that the G80 can get away with a lot of like the bigger and larger features is because it is such a wider car. The wider car really helps support a lot of those modifications. The M badge, definitely got to take that off. Can't be rocking the M badge. But then again, I mean, this dude, they clearly went all the way in. Honestly, part of me thinks that this is like a troll, because they knew if they did this, it would completely go viral, and it has completely gone viral. So I don't know, that's kind of where my head's at. Like, maybe it's a troll. Maybe that was the plan all along, and then we're the ones who are the suckers because we're like out here talking about it, and we're actually feeding the troll. Yeah, man, what a crazy thing. So I posted it here, a G80 front end on an F30, and it's by Urban Racing __ on Instagram. So Tommy El Garage looks better than the current G80. Oh, come on, Tommy, you know that's not true. Eldridge, I was telling Yusuf the G80 rear would probably work on my car if I wanted to spend the money to make it. So Eldridge has a 440 that he converted to basically like it's got an M4 front end, and then it's got like the M4 like rear hips, like actually technically M3 rear hips, but it looks really, really wide. On a build like his, that rear end and that rear diffuser on his car would look amazing. Like, it would look so good because it's so aggressive and it's so wide, but his car supports that. That's what I was saying before, like when you put it on like a base model car, it's gonna look a little goofy, but it doesn't look that bad. I hate to admit it. What's your forte? Cooking! I think the audio is like, let him cook. What's your forte? I guess what's your forte is into it. Rear looks good. ESS John. Fresh Kick, slap my fucking ass off. Fresh Kick says LMFAO. Oh, dude. Corey's got to do this to his M340. Tag Fresh Kicks in the comments. Tell him he's got to do the G80 M340 conversion. Yeah, I mean, it's just look at the gifs. It's a brutal comment section. I'll have this linked in the description so you guys can actually just go check it out, because they go in on this dude. I find that a lot of times when people do this to these cars, it gets the community up in arms. They immediately start attacking them, and I don't know, man. I don't think it's like that serious. You know, people have been doing crazy modifications on base model cars for the longest time, but I do understand. This guy says F30 owners do everything but get an M car. Oh man. Oh man. I personally would do that in my F30, but it would look a lot better with the Icon headlights and LCI tails. Yeah, I agree, man. It would look a lot better. It would look a little bit more complete, for sure. This is gas. So, like, it's kind of mixed. Like, there's a lot of people in here. The majority of people are hating on it, but there are some people in here who are really about it. I don't think it looks, like I said, I don't think it looks that bad. I mean, thanks, I hate it, LOL. I don't think it looks that bad, man. I mean, like I said before, this isn't something that I would do. But I do think that in terms of like the build and what they've done, it's, you know, it's executed pretty well, minus the lighting situation. It's not that bad. Horrendous and atrocious. Oh man, these comments are just awful. Awful. Should have just bought the actual thing. Well, I don't think that a 320 with some G80 parts is going to cost equal to or as much as a G80. It's like almost $100,000 car, so I like it better than when everyone was doing the M2 and F5 front ends. Yeah, that's like an interesting topic, you know, like you have the M2 front end on the F30. So the M2 front bumper conversions became like a really popular, super popular conversion on a lot of these cars. I don't think it looks terrible. Again, it's not something I would do. I just am not a big fan of like a lot of these bumper conversions, so I'm not like really the audience for that. But if you're building that type of build and you're just trying to while out and do something a little crazy, like it's cool. Like these cars can pull it off. The only thing about the M2 front end on a lot of F30s though is like this red one, dude. This red one doesn't, come on. Like the red car does not look that bad. With the BBSs, like that's actually pretty fire. But it does look, I will say, on a lot of these cars, like my friend Eldridge had it. I think this is Eldridge's car right here, actually. Yeah, that's Eldridge's car right there. My friend Eldridge had this on his white F30, and it looks good, but it's such a like big, large featured front bumper that it looks a little goofy on like the factory rear end of an F30. That's just my take on it. Like, a lot of these bumper conversions are just hard to make look good. It takes a lot of work to make it look like the car can actually pull it off. They do have an M5 front end for an F30 as well that isn't actually that bad. Oh, this is it right here. Yeah, this is the M5 front bumper on an F30. Like, again, it doesn't look that bad. Would I do it? No. But in terms of a modified car, like if you're going all out for like a show build, looks pretty sick. Looks pretty sick. It's not really that terrible. The G80 is getting, it's aggressive. It's aggressive. You guys got to go read the comments, man. I'm gonna leave it down in the description. You guys can go check it out. So after that, I posted the video of the transformation. They're like grabbing all the parts, throwing them up. They clearly did something with the DME. I wonder what they were doing with the DME. Or was that like a light module or something? Yeah, that's the DME. What are they doing with the DME? Weird. So here it is, man. This one popped off just as much, dude. This one popped off just as much. And it's, man, woo, woo, woo. People are going off on it. I mean, they didn't do any suspension or anything. They just packed it on. I think they threw some pretty big wheels at it. Those look like 19s or 20s, the black wheels. 19s. Again, not my style of wheel, but they're trying to make it look like a stock, like a thin factory G80. And so I get it. Like, I understand why they use certain things. It's just like perfect opportunity to do the headlights and the taillights. Why didn't you do that? It would have made it look like a million times better. So here's a comment right here. Appreciate the craftsmanship, but like, I'm with you, man. I appreciate it too. I mean, it probably was. This had to be quite a bit of work to go through this. I mean, not a crazy amount, but it definitely was a little bit of work. So these guys went all in. They did a custom quad exhaust on it. Both bumpers, did change the fenders, obviously, so a little bit of paint work had to be done. GTS hood, I mean, they went all in, man. They went all in. The M guys are such purists. LOL. It doesn't look that bad. Respect other builds, especially within the BMW community. It's crazy to me because like the BMW community is so divisive. It's so split. There's so many guys that are all about keeping the car completely factory, and there's a lot of guys who are just like build it all the way out and do something crazy. And I can see both ends of the spectrum. I don't think I belong to either of them. I think I kind of like fall in between. And also the thing that you have to remember when it comes to like modifying these cars and building them is we all start somewhere and our tastes change or develop over time. Like I plan on doing a like most cringe modifications video of like all the stuff that I've done in the past that were just awful. Because I learned a lot throughout those years, and now I look back and I'm like, oh my god, I never would have done that. Like, why did I put that on that car? That was so stupid. I think when you first start out and you don't have like a ton of knowledge on that type of car, it's difficult to know like what looks good, I guess. When I first started out with my cars, I kind of felt like I was just buying a bunch of stuff and putting as much on it as possible. Whereas today, I do it completely differently. Like anything that I put on the car is completely intentional, and I don't just buy stuff and put it on. For the majority of the car, it's all factory stuff, just either upgraded or a little bit different, a little bit outside of OEM. But yeah, this one is something else, man. You guys tell me what you think down below. Are you into this one? They go too far. Make sure you show them some love too. Urban Racing __. Those are the guys who built this car and put out the videos. I want to make sure that they're getting credit for this as well. Take the worst part of the G80 and slap it on the worst F30 model 328. Awesome. I think the 320 would be the worst though, wouldn't it? Hey man, it's hard having a 4-banger. Leave me alone. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I do see a lot of people in like the BMW community who take things so seriously. And like, we have to remember that these are just cars. None of it is for real. None of it is serious. We're just having fun with our cars. And people just need to stop getting so wound up over other people's cars. Like, it's stupid. Spend that energy on your own car. It's just silly to waste it on other cars. It's stuff like this, and anytime that I talk about S65 and B58, like those two groups of people that just for whatever reason hate each other in the BMW community. Like, I obviously post a lot of like troll videos of just, you know, like B58's better or S65's better. I've owned both of them and I think both of them are fantastic. We're not going to get into that conversation in this video, but that is also a very polarizing topic amongst people, and it seems like this is one as well. Putting a lot of M parts or M-inspired parts on base model, you know, F30s. Who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your build. But nonetheless, I just wanted to show this to you guys today and see what your thoughts were on G80 bumpers on an F-Series car. Pretty nuts. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.